Well, I'm excited about our next guest via Skype on the show. If any of you watched last week's show, you know that I talked about what I feel is just a really innovative and encouraging program at Wheeling High School in Wheeling, Illinois. It's a program that's intent is to drive both interest and provide manufacturing job skills to high school students. And what I was really intrigued by this story, and I really wanted just to get this next guest, this man, on our show to tell us more about what's going on at Wheeling. And we're going to have with us right now Principal Lazaro Lopez of Wheeling High School. And by the way, just to set this up a little bit before, one second, sorry. I did want to set this up a little bit. I ran across Principal Lopez at a Society of Manufacturing Engineers press conference at IMTS, and I was just so intrigued with what he was talking about and his passion for the students at Wheeling High School that I just had to bring him on the show. So, Principal Lopez, thanks for coming on our show.
Well, thank you, Dirk and Mike, for having me. I certainly appreciate it.
And before we get into kind of the manufacturing side of things and what you're doing in terms of your advanced manufacturing program at Wheeling, I wanted you to set up a little bit. This is actually part of a larger program, right? You have something called the Career Pathways?
Yeah, and I appreciate you referencing that. Really, it's about transforming high school into an experience that's engaging and relevant to our students today. So it's about a student beginning the rest of their lives the moment they walk in our doors and choosing a career pathway and then developing each pathway, just like we've done with manufacturing, with courses that lead beyond high school, industry standard certifications that are recognized, so their credentials before they leave high school, as well as external real-world experiences with many partners.
And so what I want you to focus on right now is tell us, because this is probably most apropos to our audience, is your advanced manufacturing program. And tell us a little bit about that and kind of what something that's unique about it is actually your lab.
Yeah, absolutely. I can tell you back in 2008, when I started talking about investing in an on-site manufacturing facility at our school, many people looked at me in the area, and other educators would say, "Why are you spending money on an industry that's dead, where there are no jobs?" And I knew that in our community, I met manufacturers from across the state that would tell me, we don't have enough skilled workers. We don't have individuals that are interested in entering manufacturing. And so I was being responsive to our community. We have a large number of manufacturers in this area that are small to mid-sized manufacturers, as well as some large ones. And so we invested in a high-quality facility. I say it's $1 million manufacturing facility. I would say I didn't spend $1 million on it, but we had certainly about 26 partners, and certainly with the support of the SME Education Foundation and SME and lots of other manufacturers from this area, helped us design a space where we have a CNC lathes and mills, as well as a plasma cutter, welding booth.
We're having a little bit of a problem there.
Having a little bit of problem with
prototype.
Oh, there we go.
And your viewers can certainly check out our website and look at some photographs of the space.
We lost you just there for a second, Dr. Lopez. But I believe what you're saying is you've got this lab that's basically fully outfitted with
Yes.
Pretty much anything a modern machine shop would have, CNCs, and I'm assuming inspection equipment and so forth.
Yes, absolutely. And my hope is that we're going to expand it with micro manufacturing next year. And also I'm looking at perhaps a FANUC robot to add. Anything that gives the kids a real connection with the equipment so that they can see it and feel it and get excited about the industry.
Well, that's what one of the things I think the entire at the entire press conference at the SME press conference, I think the thing that just excited everybody is you gave an example of a couple of students. And I think even one student, you said that you didn't, if I remember right, you said you didn't feel would have finished high school until they saw what was going on with this program. Is that right?
Yes, and I'd be glad to share the story. I can tell you there's dozens of students who are already working full-time in the industry because of our program, but two specific ones are students that were at risk, likely would not have graduated, at least one of them, And because of the manufacturing program, they got excited about school. They saw a future. We got them with one of our business partners here in the community, one of our manufacturing partners, and they worked as an internship. And now both of them are in the industry working full time. And they credit their lives turning around really to this program and to being in this manufacturing course. And what I would add, what's unique about ours is high school students are earning NIM certification as well as MSSC and dual college credit before they graduate high school.
Now tell us a little bit about those certifications. Those are industry certifications, right?
Yes, and what I will tell you, Dirk, is that this isn't my area of expertise. I'm an English guy and an educator, but I'm being responsive to the business community. But what I can tell you is, what I am told is the MSSC, all the safety certifications that I know are adopted through NAM, National Association of Manufacturing, as well as the NIM certification. Those were what my industry partners said. Hey, if you can get the kids the skill sets, then we'll be excited to bring them in and look at career opportunities.
Now, another thing that was, at least it was attractive to me, is this program actually kind of came full circle, right? You had a student that went through your program, got placed in a machine shop there, and then later on actually ended up, mentoring another student from your program? Do we lose him?
Yeah.
Might. Okay.
Well, because you got into it pretty deep in the last week's show. You talked about some of these issues.
Well, let me tell you this one story, and I'll tell it while we try to get Dr. Lopez back on. The Skype connection isn't all that great, but. So I believe what the story was is, as he mentioned, he had several students go through this program. Mm-hmm. Then they were, one of them in particular was placed at a machine shop. Mm-hmm. And like a year or so later, another student went through the program, ended up being interning at the same machine shop and working with the previous student mm-hmm. that had already gone through the program. So the program was almost perpetuating itself, where one student is now working and now actually mentoring another student through the same program. And this is all at the high school level. Right. And this is what's mind-blowing. Yeah. Now, another thing, do we have him back yet, Chris? Okay. And hopefully we'll get Dr. Lopez back on the show. I'll just try to recap. Fortunately, we talked about this before the program. Another thing that was very interesting is that initially, I believe, he said that there wasn't a lot of support from the community in terms mm-hmm. of a manufacturing program, because kind of the idea was that manufacturing was not dead, but it's all going overseas. Sure. Why should our kids be going into something that's, quote, failing? Mm-hmm. You know, they should be going on the other career pathways, because there's several career pathways at Wheeling. So you've got, he mentioned their medical career pathways. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, that was probably more attractive to some parents. And at least to my perspective, and I wish he was on here so he could tell me whether I'm right or not, my perspective was that he actually kind of bucked the system. Mm-hmm. He said, no, I believe this is important, manufacturing is important, kind of, if we build it, they will come. Well, right? And he built it, and they came, and now he's placing them. So,
well, and there we are.
There we go.
Hi, sorry about that.
Hey, no problem. I want to make sure I got this right. I'm not sure if you heard any of this, but I believe you told me earlier that you met actually some resistance in putting up your advanced manufacturing program that was kind of like, gee, you know, do I really want my kids going into manufacturing?
No, absolutely. And what I will tell you is that we embedded it directly with the engineering program. And so we have students that are really pursuing both engineering and manufacturing, and really providing all of the avenues there for them to choose which route they want to go. But today's advanced manufacturing requires a very high level of skill. And there are what I would say, access to the middle class by going that route. And so I've connected both, but certainly some pushback or certainly individuals that have an old view of manufacturing, what it used to be.
Now, another thing, and I don't want to put you on the spot here, given that you're a principal, but one thing that was really interesting to me is you had students who probably, I'm reading between the lines maybe here a little bit, may not have gone on to college, may not in fact have finished high school. And so college wasn't a career choice from, or it wasn't a choice from them, that either because they had no interest in it, or maybe couldn't afford it, or family issues or whatever. And yet when a vocational route was presented to them, that here's something that they could have an interest in, being a machinist, and go basically into the workforce from high school, they kind of jumped on it. And to me, at least in the United States, that kind of seems contrary to what we're normally taught growing up. As you go to high school, you go to college.
Well, here's the way I would frame it. I would say that I want to prepare students for every opportunity possible, and a student that graduates from high school should be ready to go to college, go to work, perhaps go get a credential or certification, come back to college. And even today's manufacturer, I mean, some of the students that have graduated that went straight into work are still continuing their education through through Harper Community College, trying to earn an associate's degree related to manufacturing. So what I would say is that we really don't, my goal isn't necessarily to choose for the students, but to prepare them for every possible option. And yes, there are students that want to be able to go to work, and maybe they'll go to work for a few years. I could tell you, I didn't finish college till I was much older. I didn't go straight into college. I went in the military first and spent 6 years in the Army before I even thought about going back to college. And so those are all options. None of them are bad. But what I would like is when a student graduates from high school that they leave with more than just a diploma, that they have a credential, that they have something that helps them be more marketable in the world so they have access to a career.
Well, Dr. Lopez, really, I really appreciate you being on the show. I wish we had more time, but we have to get going here. I think what you're doing is fantastic. I'd say just keep up the good work, and hopefully we're going to be able to spread the word a little bit ourselves with our interview here with you. And actually, we're talking to SME about some of the things that maybe we might be able to contribute with in some way. So congratulations, and I think you have a great program.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
Thank you, Dr. Lopez. Great stuff.